What's crack-a-lagging? I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me, as always, for this delightful episode of World 1-1 podcast is Eddie V.
Hello, everybody.
And we're back again. I know things have been a little sporadic. If anybody didn't catch it on the Facebook page, there's some construction going on behind the scenes, and unfortunately things will probably continue to be a tid sporadic until the dust settles, but we're doing what we can here to get it all out to you as best as possible. So we appreciate the understanding and the patience. So lots of good stuff to cover, since the last time we talked was covering the kind of the one-by-one breakdown for E3, but it's been about a week and a half now, and it's a good time to kind of take a little more objective look back at all of that. But let's start with Eddie. What the hell have you been playing?
So I'm going to actually start with Switch. Been playing the Octopath Traveler demo. Put more time back into the hunter, not the hunter, kind of like the swordsman. I ended up doing almost 2.5 hours of it, and so the next 30 minutes I'm at another time right now that I save, and I'm kind of like just gonna probably grind it a little bit more until my demo runs out. But I saved the information so when I get the game, I don't have to deal with a lot of that.
You can just jump straight in.
Because
all that save data is going to transfer over, which I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, and why do we not see more of this? Like, seriously, this should be damn near a staple by now.
People know, I think companies feel like they know that people, if they hear the right buzzwords, people are going to buy it. So
yeah, but even still, like, if you're going to put a demo out, make it so that once I finish that demo, that all just transfers right over. Yeah. It should. I mean, like, that function should be a staple if you're going to put a demo out at this point.
It's very smart of Square Enix allowing to do that, because
especially with an RPG and with a demo that big.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to regrind 3 hours of stuff at the beginning, especially when, the beginning is going to be filled with all your tutorials and everything. Nobody wants to do that shit a second time.
Right.
We just, we want to get it once and we want to go.
True, dude. I'm like almost at level 8, level 9 of just grinding. And it's just like, shoot, I don't want to redo this. I don't want to refight this boss, because everything I did in the first demo is what I did in this new one. It's just more official. And so now that I know what I need to do, everything else is going to be new to me. And for that, I can't wait. I would love to see more not first party, but like first person shooters even do that. Like, if they give you a demo, whether it's like the tutorial stuff, when you get the full game, now you can play the rest of the game, because the introduction of the game is out the way.
Hell yeah.
So
amen, preach.
Got the Toad Treasure Tracker demo also. Just kind of wanted to try it out, give it a go. I'm already gonna buy the game. I have the original version of Wii U, so really wasn't just like, oh, okay, whatever. Just wanted to give it a real try. Got the Bridget shelf or something like that. It was like that chef game. It's like almost a 2D puzzle kind of game. Chef Brigade, I think.
Just the bridge, the one that's all like kind of black and white and grayscale.
No, it's colorful. It has a sort of look to it. I think it's Bridge Chef or Chef Brigade or something like that. I ended up picking that up for like $12 because it was on sale, and I'm just like, I've been wanting to play this game, so I
played the hell out of the bridge, and that was really good.
Yeah, that didn't look interesting to me. I just I kind of passed on that.
I would recommend give that a fair shake, honestly, because it's really fucking clever. Granted, I have kind of a natural inclination into anything that kind of leans into like the MC Escher stuff, which
Yeah.
is basically what the bridge is all based around it. But the puzzles are actually really fucking clever. There's a few of them in there that are stupidly brain bending, but they're fucking smart. It's really good.
Did you do the Portal one too, or
Oh,
that?
Bridge Constructor?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done Bridge Constructor yet. Um, I I keep looking at it, and I can't convince myself to get there that I would actually get my money's worth out of it. Like
Okay.
I'm almost there a couple times, and then I'm like, I don't know. I keep hearing mixed on it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to throw my money at that yet.
Mm.
When I know there's other stuff that I would just not hesitate to throw my money at the screen, as Nina Struthers would say. Um, but yeah, just a throwback recommendation there. Do check out the bridge.
Okay.
I picked it up on 360 several years ago, and I got maybe a third of the way through it and put it down for something else. And it was last November. We were at my wife's cousin's for Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought the Switch with, and her cousin's husband and myself, we sat down and we played through the whole damn game in one sitting.
Oh wow.
We sunk into it, and it was a great time.
Nice. I played more Breath of the Wild for Switch, getting further into that. Like, man, just looking at that game, playing on the Pro Controller, and just looking at the TV, and I'm just like, this game is still beautiful. And it
Are
just
you
holds
not
up
done
so
with that yet?
I have to
Or
restart
are
it.
you just doing the DLC?
No, I haven't finished the game. So, because I bought it on Wii U, and then other games start coming on. Then I'm just like, well, I know I'm gonna get it for Switch, so I'll just beat it on Switch and stuff. Because I think they was doing more updates on Switch than Wii U, so it runs better.
Most of
on
that
the
was
Switch.
just frame rate issues, yeah,
Yeah.
which the Wii U didn't have as much of because it didn't have to compete with itself for handheld and docked mode.
Yeah.
So
So
there wasn't as much need for that on Wii U as there was on Switch.
yeah, playing it on the Pro Controller, I was just like, oh, this feels just as good as the Wii U gamepad, but more comfortable in a sense. And I'm like, it runs flawless. Right now, to me, it feels like it runs flawless, and I'm still finding stuff that I didn't find in the Wii U version. So I'm happy about that.
Breath of the Wild is where my fallout with the Pro controller started, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at first, I'm kind of like, all right, this is all right. And then I started noticing the problems with the D-pad because it would occasionally pull up the wrong thing that I was trying to switch between on the D-pad,
Yeah.
and it got really frustrating. And then it all fell to shit when Puyo Puyo Tetris came out. I was like, no, I cannot do this with the damn Pro controller. Fuck this. I want my Joy-Cons with my separated buttons, so I know for a fact that it's hitting only exactly what I tell it to.
Right, and
After that, it was over. Like, I got to a point, I'm just like, I don't touch my Pro controller. Fuck it, it's getting sold.
No, I have to keep my Pro controller because, like, when I play on the big screen, I like the Joy-Cons and stuff. But I think when I start playing with my Pro controller, I just have like a better time playing with it. I know it's kind of hard doing like. Well, I haven't tried it with Just Shapes and Beats yet, but like with some of the indie games, because I played them so much on a Joy-Con, I'd be like, this doesn't feel right. Like I blew the Ikaruga, but I need to learn that. I need to relearn that game. But that's what I play for Switch. For PS4, tried out Batman Arkham Knight. Kind of a cool game. Still learning the ropes of it. I kind of like the fighting in that game. The car mechanic is kind of a little bit clumsy, but I'm like, it's a cool game. But I've been playing a lot of Mad Max on the game on PS4. It's part of my backlog. And I opened a little bit more of the world, so like pretty much this week I'm gonna be diving in a lot on my off days. And probably like early in the mornings before I go to work, probably going to I'm probably going to jump into it, and my goal is try to beat it by Saturday. If not, probably a little bit later on in like August, I'll finish the rest of it up. But really, really glad that I'm playing this game, like giving full commitment to finishing it. Play a little bit of Infamous First Light. Really enjoyed that game. I love the speed of it, and it's kind of making me want to go back to Infamous Second Son and fully beat that game. So I'll probably do that a little bit later, also this year.
I want to know what made you decide to take the plunge on a movie tie-in game again, because God, those just got such a bad reputation.
Mad Max,
deservedly so.
Mad Max, it was done by Avalanche. This one takes place, I think, after the movie or before. It has that somewhat connection, but they treated this more as an open world game, and it got good reviews. The funny thing about it is that they keep
more in the universe of.
Yeah, they keep having sales for this game, like on PS4, like crazy. But I got like a used copy, or and I got it like kind of for cheap. So no, actually, I didn't get
copy
it for
all day, every day.
No, I actually got it for $20 on Amazon.
Okay.
So, cause I'm like, I think before it even dropped the price and it became like $5.99 on PS4 and stuff, that was just like almost 2 years after the game came out. Like, it's kind of cheap now, but I was just like, during it, like, it had just came out and probably only been out maybe for like 3 or 4 months, and they decided to put it on $20. So I got it for cheap, and I heard good things about it. So I was just like, you know what, I'll give this game a try and see how it goes. And it's cool. It's not bad. I'm just gonna put some. My goal is just to beat the game, to say that I beat it, and then kind of be like, okay, now I could go back, and if I need to do some stuff or some side quests if they're there to get like achievements and stuff, I'll go ahead and do it. Other than that, I play Next Machina. I ended up being that game kind of on like normal. Now I'm trying to go back and redo everything and like beat it on a harder difficulty. Really fun game. Really am enjoying it. Sad that that's their Hearts Mercury's last game, and being on PS4, because I think this game would definitely be great on Xbox One, and it would definitely be great on Switch.
That's another game we were talking about yesterday too, actually.
Next Machina.
Like, get out of my fucking head, dude.
It's $6 on PSN right now because of the flash sale. I'm just like, yeah, that is a steal, and everybody's been pushing for people to pick that game up. So yeah. I'm like, I'm all for that. For Xbox One, I went back to The Division, working on that game. Man, I was playing that a lot Friday. Like, I was
that game is just under your fucking skin, isn't it?
I already beat it.
You just can't get away from that, can you?
But I already beat the game. But I guess I just ended up starting a new character and just be like, you know what? I just want to visit this world again and just shoot stuff. And I think because now that I know what to do, it's not that difficult. I was just like, let me make sure that I get the right gear, modify my weapons, and go take out some enemies and just have fun. Like, and that's pretty much what I've been doing with Xbox One for The Division. It's just actually having fun. Pulled up the Destiny 2 on Xbox One, just blasting fools. Like, I even beat that, and it was like, wanted to see what the new updates were about it. Not so much the DLC, but just the new updates. I heard that it was a little bit faster, and I could see it a little bit, like it being a little bit faster. But it's just something that I went back to just to have fun for it. I do have Far Cry 5. I think I got it like for $30 at Target. And so I just need to install that and give that game a go. But pretty much that's all I've been playing. I've been charging up my 2DS, and hopefully I can get back into some handheld gaming on there and like finish a lot of games. I need to finish a lot of stuff on that system. So I'm kind of working on my backlog while getting ready to get some games for like July and really dig in for August and stuff, because like after Dead Cells drop for Switch, I'm just like, man, it's game over right then for like
2 months solid.
Well, I'm probably gonna give it a try, and then I think I'm gonna probably put it to the side because there's just gonna be so much coming out for Switch.
Oh, that game's so gonna suck up your life.
Oh, I feel like it's probably gonna be like, of course, when I go to the bathroom, when I just have some downtime, if I'm waiting, like if I'm on the go with somebody and I got my Switch, Dead Cells is probably gonna be. I'm probably gonna be on it. Right now, I don't know if it's coming to anywhere else physically, as in store buys. I know Best Buy's getting it, but I wonder if my nearest Target is going to get it. Because if Target get it, when I get paid, I'll just go pick up a copy from there, and be like, yeah, for that. But other than that, I didn't.
Yeah, I still need to pre-order my copy of that. Actually, that's on the list that needs to get done.
Yeah. I didn't pick up Hollow Knight. I think I'm going to wait on that game. Only because I got a lot of indies on Switch and I got a lot of stuff planned to get when more of my job is rolling and I get my hours and stuff like that and money starts rolling back in and stuff. I'll probably pick it up. If they do release a physical version of it later on down the year, I think that's going to happen.
I'll double dip on that.
I'll probably end up getting the physical version. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Just like really focusing stuff on Switch and kind of Xbox, but really, putting a lot of time and effort in Mad Max. Cause I'm trying to beat that this week, before I start jumping into my backlog game for Xbox. And then I'll be jumping on Switch and, actually I'll be jumping on Wii U before I jump back on Switch for games. So, which is going to be funny because I'm playing Assassin's Creed 3 on Wii U for 2 weeks.
That's an odd choice, but all right.
It's just like 2 weeks I give my backlog quality time, and there's just games on my Wii U that I haven't finished yet. I'm pretty much on all my systems that I haven't finished, so I'm working to get all of that stuff done.
Yeah. So yeah, Hollow Knight, I've officially double dipped on it, because I did buy it on PC, and we talked a little bit about it. And honestly, for some reason, it wasn't clicking with me, but I was totally ready and jazzed to give it a second shot, and I grabbed it as soon as it dropped, and I've been hard pressed to put that shit down. Like it's finally clicked right with me.
You know what? You're not the only one that's been saying that.
I think I figured out the problem.
Everybody's been saying, and I'm gonna let you explain it. Everybody's been saying that they played it on PC and they liked it, but when they played it on Switch, it hooked them so much that they didn't know that they're just like, it feels like a different game on Switch, and it feels just right at home on Switch, and it's so weird.
I won't say that it feels like a different game. I won't push that, because that's not right. It is 100% the same game, which is fine. I've come to realize, I think a big part of my problem when I sat down with it the first time on PC is I was really expecting one thing. Like I went into it expecting one thing, and it was not that, and I ended up with something else, and I wasn't mentally in the right space to dig into what Hollow Knight had to offer, and that's 100% on me. That being said, I think the fact that I knew what I was getting into, and I had spent some time away from it, jumping back into it the second time, it clicked right, and so I've put so much time into that. It's just delightful. I've been hard pressed to put that shit down. Before that, though, which does mean too that I've made significantly more progress than I ever got through on the PC. That game is still a fucking beast, though. It is solid. It is dense. There really is a fucking ton of lore in this game, and it's so super subtle.
Everybody's trying to explore that whole world in that game.
Oh yeah, and they should. And there's a ton of super subtle stuff in there, just in terms of building up that world. That's absolutely phenomenal.
I don't know if you heard, they were just like, it's sort of third of what it did on the PC, but yet they're thrilled. I was just like, people are going, the sales of this game is going to jump once you release physical. Do not worry.
Not only that, but the PC one has been out for how much longer by comparison, too.
Right. And if you had like
I
Steam
don't know
sales
if
and
that
stuff on
third is to accounts for release window or not.
right.
But
And if you had Steam sales on it for people to pick more of the game up, because I've seen some, of course that's going to add to how many you sell. I'm like, you just put this game out on Switch, and to get a third of it done within what, about 7 days?
Yeah.
That's crazy. If you can't even do a third on 7 days, if you can't even do that many copies on the first release on PC, but you could do it on Switch, that says something that your game is gonna go far. Oh, don't worry, because once the game goes on sale, once it gets a physical version, that game is going to ramp up in sales.
Oh yeah, I mean it's getting all the love and all the praise, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
It really is. So I mean, I've been much happier with that the second time around, just knowing properly what to expect going in this time, as opposed to my first go around with it, where it didn't click with me. Knowing that there was better beauty ahead than just that opening section, really helped me push through it, and kind of having at least some semblance of idea as to where the fuck to go from the get-go, because I mean this game will seriously leave you in the damn dark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean and that part kind of rubbed me the wrong way the first time, because it's just a standard staple for any Metroidvania. Like, you start the game, here's your map, here you go. Map fills out as you go. That's it. And Hollow Knight puts some significant barriers to that. And so that kind of put me off quite a bit, not expecting that going in. But like I said, knowing it going in made that much more palatable. But in any case, before Hollow Knight dropped, though, I've been on a solid binge with Yoku's Island Express. And man,
didn't it just come out? I think last week or 2 weeks ago? Like
a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, and I was an idiot and didn't realize that there is a hard copy of that. There is a physical version. Totally fucking.
That?
I don't know, but I shit you not, dude. I was in Best Buy, and there it was on the shelf.
Really?
So I'm gonna have to double dip. Now, granted, physical version is like twice as much as the digital copy. Hard copy is gonna set you back $40.
It's 40.
Yeah, it's 32 if you still got GCU, which I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna double dip on it, but that's still a little salty on a hard copy for double the digital price.
But what? I think people will.
It deserves a spot on your shelf, though.
I think people. Yeah, I think people will. I think people are over the $30-$40 over that physical copy. They know what they're getting, because if you line a physical copy up or Switch games up, you be like, good night, that's impressive. Like, I don't think you could really say. I mean, you could say that for PS4 and Xbox One, but something about Switch games, just having that physical copy, it just looks good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had friends over that have a Switch and haven't really gotten to play a whole lot, and I will let them borrow stuff out of my library. I'm like, this is why I buy hard copies. I want to be able to share with my damn friends. And like, they'll look at my library like, Jesus, that's a solid library. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm getting to the point in my physical library where I'm gonna end up buying a second case for my Switch, so I can have one case that's all like big AAA titles and one that's just all stocked with all indie stuff.
Do they have just game cases, like a big book for game cases? Because I haven't seen one yet. Mostly the ones that I've seen that they put like they got the Switch. You put your Switch in it, because I would actually like to have like a booklet, like a cool like Nintendo booklet for your like game cases.
See, I'd be okay with that, except I do actually take my Switch out with me a lot, and so it's nice to have my case with a bunch of games in it.
Oh, I do. I have it.
So that's the way my Switch rolls, as it were. And so, like I said, I think I'm just going to get a second case that's like you said, one's all indie and one's all big AAA.
And I think that's why games that come out the Switch that's indie, that people long for that physical version, even if they put like a soundtrack or a little trinkets or whatever, that people are willing to go out and buy it. And it kind of shows you that Indie's got it best for both worlds on Switch, that people are going to buy the digital version because they want to play it. And if there are collectors or they just really want to have the game, they'll double dip, like we said, they'll double dip and they'll get the physical version. Because I'm just like, when I found out that Dead Cells was coming, I was just like, okay, yes, Larry's been talking about this. I can't wait to get this game because I wasn't going to play it on PC. And then when I heard that when Best Buy announced it first for the developers that the physical version is coming, I was just like, I have to be at Target at 8 o'clock to make sure that they put this game out and I get it. Because I know if I do not get this, it's going to be sold out.
Mm-hmm. No, you're in for a treat once you get your hands on Dead Cells, dude.
I've been waiting for Dead Cells. August is so packed. It's going to be bonkers.
You know, remember the days when everything through like May to July or May to like August just fucking sucked and it was a barren wasteland of bullshit.
You got some gems here and there, but it's pretty much
most of it was all like movie tie-ins for the summer blockbusters.
Yeah,
and the only reason you're buying it is because the only thing that's out to play that you haven't fucking played yet. You're like, why did I spend money on this piece of shit?
And knowing good and well that you got you got a backlog of games that you need to work on. Dude, I think ever since and this might sound crazy, ever since Labo dropped, I think up to December, there's crazy games coming out for Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is literally
solid
insane. And I think that's why I feel like 2019 at the beginning might belong to Xbox and PS4 because of third party. I was just like, I'm more impressed that Nintendo is just releasing crazy content to December.
Yep, it's going to be a solid year.
Dude, that Limbo, that Inside announcement threw me off.
I need that in a physical 2-pack.
Oh, you already know it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Like, they've released them physically before on other platforms. I need that on a nice little 2-pack single cartridge.
It would be the secret. This might seem a little bit too long, but I think this would be the best Halloween gift to drop. Just like drop it on Halloween. Just be like, yeah, Nintendo Direct, we're showing that this game, you guys picked up Inside and Limbo. Now its physical copy is available tomorrow at your local store.
Like, that game, that game needs to come with an art book so bad.
Oh, heck yeah. Playdead would be insane.
Oh my God.
Playdead would be crazy not to do it.
That so needs to come with an art book.
And I think still $40 for that for a 2-pack collection would do it justice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of hard copies, by the way, for those that haven't already picked it up yet, or those that are willing to double dip like I did, because they didn't give us a heads up beforehand that it was getting a hard copy. But SteamWorld Dig 2, the physical copy, is out now, by the way. And it comes with actually a really sweet double-sided poster in there that's just spectacular. Made my day. But in any case, $30. Yep.
$30.
Yep. It's a nice little package. It's not a lot of bells and whistles, but again, that's a game that deserves a spot on a shelf.
Exactly.
But back to Yoku's Island Express. So I'm going to take you back about 10 years, maybe. Yeah, 10 years, give or take. Back to the original DS.
Mm-hmm.
Early original DS. Metroid Prime Pinball. Here was Metroid and a pinball game put together, but it was really just pinball with
Metroid
kind
theme.
of a Metroid skin and some theme and a couple neat gimmicks in there.
Yeah.
Yoku's Island Express is real Metroid pinball in the most pure way imaginable. This is a great big Metroidvania game. It's a huge, beautiful, interconnected map with just delightful fucking characters. I love the characters in this game. They are
Was it
so
this?
much fucking fun.
This was in the Nintendo. Was it this in the indie Nintendo Direct this year?
I don't think so. This was announced way early. Like, I think this was one of the first Switch games that got announced after they said, "Here, the Switch is coming," and they're like, "Yoku's Island Express, this is a thing. It's coming. We have no idea when, but it's coming."
I
So
know
I mean,
I've seen
it's sitting in the wings for over a year.
I know I seen it in a Nintendo Direct, and I can't think of which one did I seen it in.
I'm pretty sure it was fucking early, but
Okay.
yeah. So in any case, you've got this huge, big side-scroll 2D map, and you are this little bug that pushes around this ball. It's so goofy and nonsensical, and your mission is you are the new mailman on the island. That's your job. And you're delivering packages here and there sporadically, and sometimes you're just helping people do stuff with little missions that will eventually net you new powers that help you traverse this island by way of its various passageways and mountains to climb and tunnels to dig through and lakes and ponds to swim down.
Yes.
And it's so spectacularly done. And they have all these neat little pockets that are just tiny micro pinball tables that you have to work through to get from one place to another to open up new sections. There's honest to God boss fights in it, and it's just so damn delightful. Oh, I've adored every bit of this. Like, I love pinball games. Like, you know this. You've played fucking LSD pinball. We played Flipnick, you know.
Yes.
I mean, this is another example of doing things with pinball that you can't do in real life. And it's brilliant. And the fact that they meshed it with my favorite genre just made it all the better for me. I cannot begin to recommend Yoku's Island Express enough. Play this game. Like, even if you're not sure, like if you kind of like a Metroidvania game or you kind of like a pinball game, buy the digital. It's like $15-$20. Totally worth it. It's fucking meaty too. Like, I've put hours into this game. It's
and you still find the stuff.
Oh God, dude, I've maybe scratched a third of the map.
Wow.
And it's substantial. If you love Metroidvania games, just go out and buy the hard copy right now. There is no regret to this, I assure you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to have that whole, moody vibe thing that you expect out of most Metroidvania games just because it's something that's inherent to the genre and where the genre started.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can put that to the side, if you love Metroidvania games just for the fucking formula,
yes, you
must play this, and you really should pick it up hard copy. It's deserving of it. But God, the character, the writing is just
superb.
A joy.
Funny.
It is. It's weird, quirky, comical. It's everything that you should love. It's all there in Yoku's Island Express. I cannot begin to recommend this enough. Those have been my two big time sinks. I dinked around with an old favorite that went on sale on GOG a week or two ago. I was dinking around with The Dig, which was an old school LucasArts point and click adventure.
Uh-huh.
It's been, 15, maybe 20 years since I've played it, but no shit. Aside from the fact it's a point and click game, which, if you've got a penchant for those, you know what you're walking into. God damn, this game holds up. Like, for 20 years old, the animation and the voice work and the writing, everything about this game fucking holds up. Like, this was one of the lesser known, lesser recognized, LucasArts Scum VR games, or what is it? Scum V's, I don't remember. Anyways, but it's so good. I loved the story in it. Again, it's another one where the writing was superb. I remember as maybe like 13 years old, it was one of the first like big thick novels that there was a novel based on this game or written, and there was some changes to it to make it work as a book rather than a game. But the book was excellent. But it was one of the first actual like big, thick, fucking adult novels that I ever read as a kid. Also, neat fact, it's also one of the first games that had a standalone soundtrack that was sold separately from the game. And the music was fantastic.
That's interesting.
But yeah, it's like honest. It really does hold up excellent. It's worth a couple bucks to pick it up on GOG and revisit. The story is really good. For anybody that picks it up that's never experienced it, I will forewarn you, the opening is a red herring. This game opens up like a point and click version of the movie Armageddon. And it takes a hard left turn. And suddenly you're in, what the fuck? Okay, cool. This is not what I expected, but let's do it. So, yeah, that's a high recommendation for anybody that can tolerate puzzle games these days. It ranks up there as one of my favorite point and clicks from back when. A little bit of Dead Cells still off and on, not as much as I was binging it. I think just because I need to cleanse my palate from playing it so damn much, and the fact that it's about to hit Switch and I'm going to have to start all over from the fucking beginning. But I will say last time I dug into Dead Cells a week or two ago, there had been another fairly significant update that, and I don't remember if we talked about this or not the last time we got together, but there's been some fairly significant updates to a lot of things in there. A lot of changes to the you get some control over the effects on the weapons. Like you get an opportunity to reforge the weapons, to tweak their effects. So you basically you get to re-roll them essentially.
And this is mostly the PC version. Like,
yeah, this is all the PC version, but it's all going to be in the console releases.
Okay.
Right. This is just bearing in mind it's still technically early access PC. Because the final 1.0 up or the 1.0 update drops day and date with the console releases, so it's all coming at one big lump. And I don't know what's going to be in the final update, if it's just going to be minor patch stuff or if there's one last big overhaul like this. There was also some fairly significant overhaul to some of the common structural stuff for the biomes. So a lot of those lay out very differently now than they did before. A handful of other things too, but it was a fairly meaty update. Like I went back in and I'm like, the fuck is all this?
Well, they just they did stuff overnight.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it was all packed into one big update, and it dropped in, and I booted it up, and like there was a whole bunch of shit that just was not there the day before for me. So. But I mean, they do keep really good patch notes on there, which has been nice. It's been super helpful to kind of navigate some of that, because I mean, the experience is vastly different now than it was when this game first launched on early access. There is a huge change by comparison. I mean, I know I was kind of late to the game on that, but I've gone back and looked at, and watched through footage of the initial early access release, and it's a huge overhaul by comparison. So, which it's really been kind of neat to just watch this game evolve. Like, holy shit, Motion Twin did early access right. There are so many games and developers and publishers out there on fucking Steam that just do a garbage job with early access, and fuck all of you for ruining something that should be amazing.
Well, shoot.
But
it's
just
about to get worse. About to get worse with Steam's current plans.
But we're not going to go there right now. But no, major props to Motion Twin for really hammering on this thing for the last year solid to get it ready and get it done and get it out there, and for actually putting out constant updates. Showing that this is progressing, not just, hey, thanks for your money, fuck off now.
They believe in the product.
They really, really do, and it
And
shows
it
in their work.
shows, yeah.
It shows in all the right fucking ways.
And I think I really do hope that they really get good sales, physically and digitally. It's just like,
Oh, they deserve it so hard.
like
They
I,
really do.
I think there's so many games coming in August, but I think that's going to be the major indie highlight.
It
And
it fucking better be, man.
I think people are going to. I'm like, this should be treated as big as a AAA game, and I think it will do. And hopefully, it does great. Hopefully, it does great on all three systems, on Xbox One, PS4.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to be looking for that Switch version. I think they're going to be looking like, okay, let's see how well this does on Switch. Whoa, it did that much on Switch? Okay, yeah. If it balances out on all three platforms, that's fine. But I think more people are going to be pushing, I need this game on Switch because I want to take this game on the go.
And it's one of those that really deserves to be mobile, or not portable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not mobile, but mobile, to be able to just take it with you. God, don't put it on a cell phone, please. But in any case, no, I mean, this is a game that's great anywhere, you know. You can play for like 5-10 minutes and play just a biome, or you can play for an hour and, you know, get in a full solid run, or God, you can just binge it all damn day. Like, I can fucking get it this time. I can fucking get it this time.
It's that arcade continue. Let me throw another token in so I can continue playing. That one more gameplay.
It really is. They've just nailed it right. And I hope all the best for them. I know that this game is done really pretty well for them from what I've seen in terms of early access, and I genuinely hope that they just have a monstrous boom here in August when they hit consoles, because God, it deserves it.
I'm definitely, I'm gonna try to definitely set money aside. If not, I probably won't get it on its actual release day, but depending on how like my paycheck and hours are looking, I would definitely put $40 or $50 to the side and be like, okay, if this game is out on the Thursday, like the physical version out on the Tuesday or Thursday.
It's not even $40-$50, dude. Not even.
Is it $20?
Yeah,
for physical.
That's what I saw. I'm pulling up Best Buy right now. Because I'm totally gonna pre-order my copy while we're sitting here fucking talking about it.
Because if it's $20, I'm gonna make sure that I have that $20 to be walking into that store to be like, you guys got
Whoa! It is not on Best Buy's website. Apparently, like, I can't find it on their website.
Ooh, that's weird.
Unless for some reason I just can't find it on the fucking mobile. But we're gonna check on the PC here. But yeah, that's really weird. Like, I remember seeing that it was up there,
right? Because they announced it first before the developers did. I was just like, wait a minute, Dead Cells is coming to Switch and they're physical.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Yeah, that announcement was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's missing from their website.
Interesting.
That's bizarre. Yeah, we're gonna have to find out what the hell happened here. Now I'm curious as to where it went.
Is it for, what about PS4?
Nothing.
Oh,
there's no listing.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, but Amazon should still have it up because they I think maybe a few hours after they announced it on Twitter that Best Buy was doing it, Amazon said they was doing pre-orders for physical. So
yeah, we're looking here. Yeah, Amazon's got it. I stand corrected. The Switch version's showing $34. The PS4 version's showing $30 on Amazon.
Well, I'll still pay the $35. I would rather have to take the game on the go. Physical.
I mean, I want it. Yeah. I want it for my Switch, plain and simple, just because of the fact that, I want it from Best Buy just because I got that GCU. I want that 20% discount. That's $7 off. Sorry, sorry Amazon. Fuck you.
They'll probably have.
Oh, that's interesting. Slain is getting a hard copy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Slain Back to Hell is getting a hard copy. I'm staring at it on Amazon right now.
That's interesting. They didn't
August
even
14th,
announce
it
that.
says. No, that's fucking stealth announce.
No, how
Jesus.
do they want to announce anything else? Can I get the physical copy of Okami instead of trying to import that mug from Japan?
Right?
Just like, how dare you, Capcom? How dare you give me the game that's one of the greatest games of all time for me? How dare you not give me a physical version for Switch?
Mm-hmm.
The audacity. You gonna give me some 90-day Resident Evil 7 streaming mess that I can't even play? Well, cause that's Japan. But you won't give me my Okami HD physical? Sorry.
Yeah, that's some. I'm still fucking livid about that shit.
The two systems get the physical versions, but not Switch.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Capcom. You messing up big time.
Fucking angry about that, but what are you gonna do? Import it because it's got English in the import version. So,
Yes.
fuck it.
And I'm literally tempted to actually find out how to import that game. And I got some friends who know how to do it, but I'm just like, I wonder, can I import for Amazon Japan and have it shipped here to America, and how much it's going to cost? Hey, shoot, I'd rather import physical games on Switch than any other platform.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Anyways.
Because if they were just like, you know what, we're going to re-release F-Zero on Switch, but only in Japan physical. Don't you know the import scene would be like, you need to send this to America. I would be like, Larry, how much money do you need?
I'd be an angry individual.
I'd be like, how much money do you need? Plus, happy birthday.
So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's a little more than what I've been playing. We've kind of gone into a little bit of it here, but in any case, I think here's a good place to break, and then we'll get back into some E3 postmortem and a little bit of news.
Okay, yeah, we'll be right back, everybody.
Break, and we're back. So second half of the show, we wanted to talk some postmortem E3. Now that it's had a little time to settle and digest in your system. Want to know your thoughts now that you've kind of gotten to sleep on it a little bit, Eddie. How are you feeling coming out of this year's E3? Did it give you what you wanted? Did it leave you hanging? What are you feeling here?
I enjoyed it. It really.
What were your highlights? What were your lowlights?
I enjoyed it. It really gave me everything that I wanted. I got to see a ton of games, a lot of conferences. Like Microsoft proved that, you know, they went to Japan and they got Japanese developers. Like, they proved that they really got games coming for their platform, and they'll probably be the best way to play them. You know, Nintendo didn't really have to show a lot. They already told people that they're focusing more on Smash, and they went highly into detail, but they did drop some new gems like Demon X Machina, and, you know, finally seeing Fire Emblem Three Houses and hearing that beautiful music and seeing adults play Super Mario Party and knowing that, as goofy as this look and people might have their opinion about it, I can't wait to see, like, people stream this game and see what they think. I think PlayStation has learned, if they're going to try to do their kind of presentation like that, I think they need to just stick to their old style, like the switching and the musical parts and stuff. That just didn't work. I think EA needs to go to a direct. The community stuff really didn't really work out for them. Andrea Renee, she did a fantastical job. Digital Devolver, they're going to be whatever it is, so I don't got too many words for them. Limited run games, you know, they kind of came and went. I think they need to make their stuff more present if they're going to do a conference or anything because like it was kind of hard to find what they was going to be doing or anything. So, and I even tried to look on their YouTube page if they were going to do like a stream or something, and I couldn't find nothing. So they just need
I
to make
watched
their
it.
present.
I watched it. It was good.
Yeah, you watched it, but not many people did, so it was kind of hard to find. So I probably got to go back. It might be on their page by now, so I could go and check that out.
Check their Twitch.
Their Twitch?
Check Twitch for that.
Okay, I will.
Because we're getting to a point where more and more of them now, or at least a handful of them are, some of the smaller ones are streaming them exclusively on Twitch. I think just for the simplicity and the ease of putting it up there and out there quick and dirty.
Yeah.
But it works for some of them. I'm not going to lie. The platform works for it.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Ubisoft had a great press conference because normally when we go in the Ubisoft conference, we just roll our eyes because they do the same thing. Another Tom Clancy open world game, like, and all this fake promotion stuff. But they really, like, surprised me this year. I enjoyed the Just Dance performance. I enjoy seeing the Division 2. Starlink looked wonderful, and seeing that at Treehouse Live just, like, certified that game is going to sell well on Switch. Like, people are going to really pick it up. Square Enix, they did a fine job. I think what they got to do is, though, if they're going to present a direct, they can still keep the narrator. The narrator's fine. He was great. I think they can't give everybody announcements of games. I think they need to announce something that no conference have shown.
Yeah, Square was real bad with all that recycled shit.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else blew Square's load for them.
Pretty much, yeah. But their stuff was terrible this year. I don't know.
See, that's where you and I differ here.
I don't know. Do you want to know why I found them terrible? I think because I enjoyed their little amusement park one last year. Their conference was really good last year, even the year before that. I think the awkward pauses, them trying to focus on Fallout 76, like, there was just stuff about that one that just like most of the presenters, they look unease, and with some of them, not really speaking a lot of English and stuff, and it was just like, this is kind of awkward. And I guess when they're doing cuts to the stands and people are just looking confused and stuff, it looks and feels weird and a little bit disjointed. But it was just like, no. I mean, the Walmart shade was like kind of the best thing about that conference. And Wolfenstein 2 and the two people who came out to talk about Prey's new game plus and stuff, just their energy and everything, I was excited for. I kind of loved, and I know that was their first time being kind of a little bit nervous, but I was just like, you guys are the ones who make this conference really fun, because we could see your passion and we could see how happy you are. Everybody else just look like they're standing there reading the prompter and stuff, and they're just not good people to speak about things and be passionate about. So it's just like, okay, you are just sitting there very conserved, and it's just like, it's not selling me on what you're trying to present. The Elder Scrolls stuff, I guess it has its fans and it did nothing for me. But I like even the PC game, like, they get props for doing a great show. Like I feel like they found their footing, and they're
They're definitely starting to.
Yeah. So
I don't think it's quite there yet, but they're getting there.
Compared to this year with the two hosts and them introducing games and, doing a lot of indie stuff, and with their breaks focusing on that hardware stuff, I think they did a great job. I think it was very interesting, and kind of just like, I love the fact that you guys did present, your place here. I would love to see that they get more recognition. And maybe Tuesdays, like, even after the Nintendo Direct, maybe they would be fitted on there compared to Monday. If they if they feel like Monday was a good space for them, like in connecting press conferences, I think that's good. I think, going to Square, then Ubi, from Ubi to the PC, and then ending it with Sony. If they want to do like that on Mondays, do it. Like really fill time gaps and stuff. I mean, it's going to be a lot for people to be getting this information and everything. But I feel like maybe an hour's break and then head into that next conference. To have that Monday have a good flow to it. But overall, I was excited. There was a lot of great announcements. Sable looks fantastic on PC, and I'm glad that's coming to Xbox One. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff that Nintendo is doing right for the rest of this year. Everybody else, they're going to be battling out for next year, for January and February, and maybe a little bit of March. So we know what we're getting next year. Now it just depends on what gets delayed and what doesn't, and what would be the game to get over a game you're going to still get, but later on down the
line. I will agree with you. I think as a decentralized platform conference, PC is definitely starting to hit its stride, which is great to see. Really, though, let's be honest here. The only PC game that we need to talk about is that fucking shark game, dude.
Man, yeah.
I am so ready for that shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. But you know what I liked about the PC? That all of these were original new games. And I think that's what I love about the PC gaming thing, that they weren't showing that what you could play on Xbox is coming, you could play on PC. They focus more on just like new indie titles or new games that's coming to the system. I think Sony and Microsoft would have benefited more. So I mean, Microsoft did a lot of that this year. I think Sony needs to do that again this year. Like, save the stuff that we know that's coming out. If there's coming stuff that you already announced and stuff, give that gameplay, and then do new, and then just show us new stuff that hasn't been announced. Or save all that gameplay stuff for PSX and show us new stuff that's coming our way.
True that.
And also, EA, never do that Command & Conquer mess ever again.
Don't
bring out tournament winners. If you're
EA needs like a year in the penalty box from E3. They're like they need to be banned from the fucking show for a year so they learn their lesson and get their shit together.
I think what they need to do is start with the sports, make the middle section EA Originals, and then give us the, I guess, games as service or whatever, the big EA titles. Like, break it into 3 sections. And if they're going to do it for an hour, each section get 20 minutes or something. Because I'm just like, EA Originals are starting to stand out more than the other stuff that they're showing.
Yeah, because it's the only fucking part of EA that's even remotely redeemable anymore.
That is true.
That's really that Sea of Solitude was really the only thing in that whole fucking show from EA that jumped out at me at all.
That to me, Anthem, I'm going to get Battlefield 5. I kind of prefer that over the Call of Duty, and I'm interested to see what they'll do with it.
Probably ruin it.
Well, and the thing about it is, I don't really care about the Royale stuff. I kind of want to see what they do with the story and everything, because it looks kind of interesting. So I would give Battlefield 5 a try. Anthem, of course, I'll be getting that because that looks good. But yeah, like Unravel and like Sea of Solitude were the takeaways for me for that, from that conference.
Yeah. Sony just didn't move the needle for me this year, plain and simple. Between their bizarre fucking choice of presentation method and the games that they were showing, just didn't do much for me. I mean, there's the oddball exception of like Control looked really cool. I want to know more about that. That fascinates me. But again, like we talked about in the first half, anything that kind of has like that Escher feel, which Control does to me,
yes,
grabs my attention. So that's an automatic mark in your favor for that one. beyond that, though, Sony just,
They really missed the mark for me on this conference. It wasn't bad, because they do have some games that I do want for them, but it just the music bits did nothing because they went too long, and The Last of Us 2 wasn't that impressive to me. And
I could see that.
And like, of course,
Like, it does look bad, but man, it is not the game changer that it could have been.
Right.
Which is a shame. But, you know, we all hope for amazing things for all of these. Like, nobody looks at a game and says, I fucking hope you fail.
Well, I think they literally got away from what I've been seeing. It feels like they gotten away from this disease affecting people, and their plan is not to find a cure, but to live with it and survive. Like, it's very weird. It just doesn't make sense on where they're trying to go with this game.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes together. It might. It's not DOA yet, but that being said, I really think Microsoft hit it home pretty well this year. I know they pulled a Prime 4 and just showed, you know, a title screen that it's in the works, but I was super happy to see that they're finally fucking doing something with Battletoads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, make that happen again, please. We've only been begging for like 8 years.
I think it's going to be a remake of the original game.
I'm perfectly okay with that. Thank you. But I was super happy to see all that delightful gameplay for Ori.
Mm-hmm.
They had a ton more of that gameplay on display and on the show floor as well. So there's a ton of just phenomenal footage out there.
And it I wonder, was it on Mixer? Because they was doing some stuff on Mixer.
I saw a bunch of it all over the place, but
nice. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can tell they've definitely tuned up the combat compared to the first Ori. It's just my body is ready for Will of the Wisp.
And you know what? Before you go on, I don't think Cyberpunk 2077 should have got game of E3. I don't think it's fair that, you know, judges and people and other journalists who got to see it behind the scenes, but not the public. I don't think that's fair that they got a ranking where everything else people got to see and play. You know, I think Cyberpunk 2077, for what they did, you know, edging people on what this game is going to be about, to show that trailer and be like, yeah, this is game of E3. I'm just like, no, to me, it's not. I think if you're not going to show your game to the public after that game been in development or whatever for all these years, it needs to be showcased to why people should be hyped in by this game. Because it looks colorful with mechanics, and that's just like, well, this is Deus Ex mixed with Sunset Overdrive. Like, that's colorful and it's cyber.
I don't know. I mean, considering those lists are coming from the people that actually had hands on,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their listing, I don't have an issue with that, to be completely honest. You know, that's their listings per their experience at the show.
Yeah.
So that doesn't perturb me in the least. This part baffled me. Microsoft had an indie reel like
Yes.
I was expecting and hoping for from Nintendo. Like, Microsoft's indie reel, like, totally caught my eye. I'm like, ooh, that looks neat. Oh, I want to play that too.
Nintendo didn't need that indie reel because we got one earlier this year, and then they got more Nintendo Directs, and I think they're probably getting those indie games for the fall ready to show off. And then another main Nintendo Direct. So I think what they were trying to do was just show stuff that is coming for like the summer into the fall before they go forward. Because you know there's going to be another indie reel with new games. There's going to be another Nintendo Direct. So I don't think Nintendo didn't have to do much. Where it's great that Microsoft showed it, But guess what? This is the only indie reel you're going to get from Microsoft until next E3.
Even still, just with the way that Nintendo's presentation
Mm-hmm.
came off, I think a 3 to 5 minute indie reel would have done them a lot of good to balance out their presentation a little bit better.
I think they're going to give more time and effort to some indie games in their Nintendo Direct instead of just instead of something for 5 seconds and then move on. You know, like
Maybe.
and I would understand that if we got that indie reel, great. Then if they did inside Xbox and they focus on those indie games so we could get more of it, then I would be excited, because what if we got that indie reel and those games got more time and love on the Nintendo Direct? They're on in the year. Like, which one would you still be happy with? Would you be happy that they showed that quick thing on the on Xbox and not the Nintendo Direct?
I don't know. It feels to me like, as much as indies are, I don't mean this to sound negative,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't think of a better way to put it, honestly. As much as indies are propping up the Switch, I think it really deserved a little more time in the light in Nintendo's presser than they got. And that just, I don't know, that bugs me a little bit. Like, for me, the indies have become such an integral thing that I look forward to every week on my Switch, that not having them get that on, in the presser just felt bizarre to me.
I think there's probably more talks then. I have a feeling that there's more talks, and we will see something later on this year. So I think some of the indie stuff just not ready to make that announcement. I think Damon Bakefield, or is it Bakerfield or?
Oh, I don't remember. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name off the top of my noggin.
I think he's there. They'll be like, okay, you guys, you got your indies and stuff. You guys are in the spot that you're ready to show it, and also for Switch. Okay, we're investing and we're excited also, so we're gonna put it in this Nintendo Direct, and I think a lot of people will be more happy. But I can understand why Nintendo didn't focus on it. At E3, I think they probably have plans to focus it better in a bigger light later on in the year.
And I certainly hope so. And that's the other thing too, is that all that indie love is done such amazing things for Nintendo over the last, 15, 16 months. It just. But in any case, that's just one of those weird things that's been sticking in my craw. In any case, other highlights. The out now announcement for Hollow Knight was a joy. It almost made up for the fucking non-announcement from Team Cherry months ago, but I was just glad to finally have it in my hands. I was fucking ready for it.
Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out if I'm super interested in Daemon X Machina or not. I could go either way on that. I need more information. Plain and simple. You and I, differ greatly on the thoughts and feelings on the Bethesda show. I think Bethesda started rough, but I think they definitely hit their stride, at least for me personally. And this is speaking as somebody that doesn't have a major investment in most of the Bethesda properties. It's not a company that's ever really grabbed me like it has a lot of people. But they do put out some stuff from time to time that I look at and go, that looks fucking cool. So
I think a lot of people, and this may be me, I think a lot of disappointment came from all these games that got announced, but they're not going to have a Switch version to it. And I
There's
think,
probably some of that.
and I think people, it's cool that Wolfenstein is getting the Unblessed is getting that Switch version, but I think a lot of people were expecting that, oh yeah, Prey is coming to Switch, Fallout 76 is coming to Switch, or Fallout 4. Like, I think even some older titles would have been a good fit for Switch, and I think that's what a lot of people kind of felt disappointed, is just because people are waiting to support Bethesda on Switch, and they've shown it. So why haven't more titles been announced?
It's the big question. Where is it?
Yeah, because I think
They're pulling a Wendy's. Where's the beef?
right, and because people are impressed with Wolfenstein 2 on Switch, looks impressive, like really
Yeah.
good, and I think it's going to sell well on that system, and everybody gonna be like, okay, bring us more, like do it. But we're showing you that yes, you can put you can send your games to Panic Button. They know how to work the system, and they know how to put it on there. So give us more, and we will buy it.
Oh yeah. So I really hope that there's more coming, and it wasn't ready to show.
Yes.
I can't imagine Bethesda not doing more with the Switch, with the way that it's been received so far with Skyrim and Doom, and with Wolfenstein just on the horizon. I mean, aside from the fact that they do have kind of that hill to overcome, that their titles are releasing how many years, months or years later, and still hitting Switch at a full $60 price point.
Mm-hmm.
That's their major hurdle right now. And if they can overcome that issue, either by dropping it or like pumping in some like extra content or something like that, to not justify, because it doesn't need justified per se, but to make the combination of the weight for that,
yes,
and the price tag make sense to the consumer, then they will fucking hit it out of the park. And to be honest, they are so close to it. They really are.
Well,
just
I think because of all the hard work Panic Button is putting on the Switch, mm-hmm. that people feel like you guys probably work really hard to port this game and get it to work, and you guys probably spent a lot of money. You didn't get a tight shoestring budget, so we understand why this game is $60, whether it's old or not. And people just like the quality of Doom on Switch. It's just like, this justifies $60. It might not be the best as the other ones, but it's very close, and people went out and are surprised on how good that they were able to port that game to that system.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it going, it would not be that hard mm-hmm. to up the value on that $60 easily by plunking in, I don't know, here's a download code for the soundtrack. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a little extra. Give me like one, maybe two perks for the Switch version, that don't cost you a fucking thing, but I get more value out of it, and you're going to be right on the money. They are this close.
It probably was a test with Doom. So we'll see what Wolfenstein 2 does, and probably in the future, yeah, they probably will put some stuff in it.
And that being said, too, even Doom did get, one or two features that, weren't on the other platforms, mm-hmm. but it did come down the line in regards, by way of like the motion controls that actually, everybody really took to when that hit on the Switch version of Doom in that update. It rolled out and people started messing with it going, hey, this is pretty good. That actually works pretty well. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if they had that out of the gate and that shit was written into reviews that, there's there's motion controls and they work superb. Like, there's a good chance that this will be the way that you really want to play this game. And that was in the reviews when it was hitting. I think that would have done fucking wonders for him just in that regard.
Yes.
Rather than it because at that point, I'm looking at it going, look, this is already like a year, behind, a year and a half behind the initial release on every other platform. So, frankly, I think they should have just held it until they had that update ready to roll out at launch. Like, it just should have been packed on the cart, done. So, and I think they would have hit their formula right there. But that being said, they're not far from it. They are super, super close, and I truly hope that they do just make that little extra stretch and they get it there. I think they will. My gut says that they are competent enough to know that this is the final piece that they're missing, and that they'll get there.
Yes.
So, but yeah, EA just felt like fucking garbage. Between the Command and Conquer shit show and the unapologetic backpedaling for fucking Battlefront 2. Ugh. Like, wow, that was just painful to listen to.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you knew that was written by some corporate schmuck that was in charge because somebody said, you're going to need to fucking apologize. And this dude's like, I ain't swallowing my pride. Fuck you.
I mean, I give it to him for the Star Wars, the cartoon one, the DLC. But I'm just like, there's no way.
Clone Wars?
Clone Wars, yeah. There's no way that you can apologize for what you've done.
Yeah. Like, seriously, you pushed a mechanic so hard that you broke it for the entire industry. Like, y'all were making money, but it wasn't good enough to just make some of the money. You had to make all the fucking money, and then you fucking ruined it.
Yep.
Now, on the flip side of that coin, though, I will say thank you to them because, frankly, they pushed it so hard, so fast that they fucking broke it, and now I don't have to fucking hear about it anymore. Because everybody's like, all right, it's done. Pack it up. So I'm not particularly sad about that fact, per se.
Right.
I'm actually a little pleased with that, but, fuck you, EA. Trying to think. If did I miss anything? I'm blanking. I know I've
Square?
kind of popped all. Oh yeah, fuck Square. Their show is stupid. They let everybody else blow their load for them. So
you talked about Microsoft, right?
Oh yeah, we went through Microsoft. I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see what's up with their Link to the Past knockoff.
Oh, Tunic.
Yeah, with
Please
a little
let
box
it be better than that Fox game that they made. Super Lucky Sale. Oof, goodness, that game needs to be patched with better controls.
My wife's been playing it. She likes it. So, but again, her tastes in games are, I'm not going to say horrible, but
they're interesting, intriguing.
Her gaming taste stopped at about 10 years old. Which is fine, because you know what? Honestly, part of me almost wishes that mine did too, because then I would probably enjoy a lot more shit that, comes out. And, me being me, I look at it and go, this is fucking terrible. God damn it. Whereas just being able to look at it and go, this looks cutesy, this looks fun. It's not super special, but it's playable, and I'm enjoying myself. And that's all I need. And part of me envies her for that, to be completely honest. So that's your weird thought for the day, if you will. But so yeah, I think that covers most of the conferences.
Yeah.
Close enough, anyways. Fuck it. Give me that damn shark game. Oh yeah, and shout out to Devolver Digital for being fucking awesome again this year.
I'll get that Battle with Chaos. I've been ready to play that Bunkers game.
The Devolver Digital E3 Cinematic Universe. I am so ready for this shit. Oh, God, that made my day. Anyways, so yeah, it's overall there were a couple of pretty shining beacons for me
Hmm.
for E3 this year, but most of it felt kind of tepid. Like I make no fucking secret of it. Nintendo's the one that I'm plain and simple the most anxious about every year. But this year uh, I'm not a fair weather Smash fan by any means. I like playing Smash. I'm not super hardcore on it, but I like playing it. But man, I so just did not need half that presentation to be Smash. I'm sorry.
I think there were so many changes they wanted to show off, and with a
I'm
big
I'm sure
roster,
they did, but
yeah,
man, that could have been its own separate directs in like August, and I think that would have been a better way to do it. And then take that, shave shave the Smash stuff down to like 5 minutes in the E3 presentation, and replace the other 15 minutes of Smash stuff with 3 to 4 more uh, tentpole titles,
you know,
and I would have been okay with that too. Even sans the indie reel. But anyways, so yeah, that's the big part of it for me. Um, so overall, the whole thing felt kind of it was okay with a couple of small highlights. So it wasn't the bangerang banner year for me that last year was. So but that's kind of my feelings on it now that I've had some time to sit and digest. Um, there were a few things that, upon reflection, came off as a little more interesting to me once I started kind of thinking about it and looking at it a little bit more. A time or two, going, that's starting to kind of pique my interest, and I appreciate the ones that are kind of that slow burn to grab my
hmm
interest. Because frankly, the ones that like just creep up on you nice and slow tend to be the ones that really fucking stick with you.
yes,
So, but that's all right. That's my E3 hot take. Um,
yeah, and everybody next year it's going to be June 11th through June 13th. So
yeah,
it's probably going to be that Saturday for
calendars already.
yeah, it's going to be that Saturday I think for EA. Probably that Sunday for Bethesda and Micro, and then um, Sony, and then Nintendo, and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next
Basically,
year.
the schedule is pretty much about the fucking same.
Yeah,
It doesn't tend to change a whole lot year over year.
we
So
might get more conferences. I hope. So. I hope we do.
maybe, but the ones that are already there usually stay about where they are every year. So not usually a lot of movement on that, which is fine. That just makes it easier to keep track of. You start getting into a rhythm year over year. You kind of know who's on deck and when to expect everything, and it does make it a little easier to kind of keep tabs on the more you do it. So,
Yes.
which you know, I appreciate that fact. So, there's a few that were kind of a little more low, off the radar that I had to look up and go, when and where is this running so I can watch it. But the tentpole ones have all settled into a routine. You know that this is going to be here. Nintendo's going to be the last one, and then they're going to open the doors to the show floor, and it's. I will say, part of me kind of misses the days when Microsoft and Sony were up on the same day.
Yeah.
Especially with Sony acting the way they've been. It almost feels like you've got to stack them with Microsoft in order to fucking fill that out properly. So, but in any case, so yeah, that's that. Any I can't really point to much news over the last couple of weeks because obviously we're all a little fucking spent from E3. But has anything crept out that's really grabbed your attention here in the last week or two?
No, not really. Just waiting for um probably some new news. Uh, uh, and I probably got to read some more stories, like with the guy blaming Anita Sarkeesian on some stuff. Like he just was making some weird kind of political statement and blaming Anita Sarkeesian on it, and I'm just like, this is insane. I don't really care. Well, I heard enough about the Fortnite and the Fortnite talk about PS4. I heard enough about that.
Yeah.
And we'll probably next week talk more about the gamer addiction, uh, mental health diagnose. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that at home.
Part of me doesn't even want to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. I'm
I
not gonna lie.
well,
Like
that's
I get fucking repulsed every time I see something about it.
well. I think with it.
But you're right, it should be discussed.
I think people is one of those. It's being made out more than what it seems. So a lot of people are doing breakdowns and trying to explain it a little bit better because now they feel like this is going to, when there's another school shooting or something like that, they're going to be like where that gamer, they're going to go and say, well, this is that person and they were gamers and that gamer addiction, and it's not like that. They're going to try to make a connection and correlation to it, and it's not like that. So I think next week we probably could just a little bit on it once we have more understanding on it. Like,
Possibly. I'll do a little bit of digging over the next week or so and see what I can rummage up on it. But my gut says it's just going to be a fucking shit show and it's going to irritate the piss out of me.
well, we'll see this. We'll see
But that's
the rest
what
of the
my
year.
gut says.
We'll see the rest of the year if there's another school shooting.
Yeah. It's going to sound really fucking callous, and I genuinely don't mean for it to, but just looking at the pattern of things, you already know it's not one of those that you're going to have to look at and go, we'll wait and see. You know it's going to fucking come up. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I genuinely hate that it's gotten to that point that we look at it and we just go, all right, when's the next one? So, and it's just going to be the same thing all over again.
Exactly.
It's that we are 100% a fucking holding pattern. But anyways, so that being on that, fucking cheerful note, that's probably a good enough place to call it for a day. So, just a couple of housekeeping notes. We like I said at the beginning here at the front of the show, we are kind of going through a little bit of construction. There's some shit happening behind the scenes that are in the works. So I ask you to kind of hang tight with us. If things are a little more sporadic than they used to be or should be or we even want it to be, but we're kind of reshuffling some things. And again, we're hoping to get the dust to settle here within the next, I would imagine, couple of weeks. There's some overhaul stuff happening here on a fairly big scale, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get it all in order. But it's starting to come together. I can tell you that there's been progress made. I can't entirely see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but I know that it's there. So we're creeping towards it at least. So I appreciate anybody that's that's hanging with us through this whole mess. That being said, expect things to stay quiet on the Twitter and the Facebook front, and once things are in order, those fronts will be lively again like they once were. So it's coming. I promise. There's been a whole lot going on all across the board, and it's been a lot to manage, or to at least try and manage. Some days more successfully than others, but we're getting there. So keep your ears peeled as there's more to report. When things are ready, we will absolutely let you know what the hell's happening. In the meantime, just hang tight, enjoy the ride. So other than that, I think that mostly covers it. We're always at home on ShoutEngine.com. We're up on the iTunes and the Google Play Musics. I can't speak to the YouTube side all that much yet, just because of some of the changes that are happening right now. Some of you can probably guess what some of that means, but hang tight. We're closing in on it, I promise. So there are good things coming. Other than that, we're gonna bring it to a close. So I always want to say thank you to my dear friend Eddie for helping make this shit show happen, and thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out with us, and we'll be back.
Yeah. Well, so we will see you guys next time on World War Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Peace.